Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Before we get going on this, we're going to have a few ads come up for you. So, Chris, if you could run a few of the ads, please.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hi.
All right, and we are back. So last week was our debut of what we called Movie Night. And tonight we have another episode of Movie Night. And guess who's back with us again? That's right, the one, the only Dragon Viper. And then, of course, that's right, he's back. It's the man known as Mr. Chris Casanova. How you doing tonight, my man?
Doing great, man. Excited to be back on the show.
Absolutely. I was so thrilled you were on last week that I had to invite you back on again because it was such a pleasure to have you on, and I really, really enjoyed it. So last week we had some awesome topics, and yet again tonight we have some awesome topics. We're going to start out with number one. We're going to talk a little bit about, that's right, that man that is known as Tim Allen. All right. So, yeah, exactly, right? So this guy's had a lot of movies that he's done in his entire acting career. He's had a lot of good ones. He's had a few so-so ones. So, Dragon Viper, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start with you, and you tell me who was your I should not say who, but what was your favorite Tim Allen movie?
Oh man,
and why? And why?
He had so many. But I'd have to come out and say, I guess one of my favorites from him was Christmas with the Cranks. It wasn't a huge movie. It wasn't huge fan base, but I still liked it. And there is one of my favorite scenes in that movie where he gets the Botox and he's stabbing himself in the face with a fork and everything else, trying to eat and drink at a restaurant. That was one of my favorite scenes. But I mean, yeah, I thought it was a good movie, and I think he did well in it. So,
all right, how about Mr. Chris Casanova? What you got?
Well, there's a couple ones I liked. Wild Hogs was really great.
Yes.
Especially,
yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Yes.
Especially how John Travolta and Martin Lawrence, William H. all they played well with each other. But my ultimate favorite is gonna be Galaxy Quest.
Good one. Good one.
I love the whole making fun of Star Trek, like the campy, as far as fighting scenes and just overall humor. Man, that movie made me laugh. It was very exciting. Plus, it kind of gave you a real life of Tim Allen's real life. Be like an alcoholic.
So is there, when we talk about it, is there one Tim Allen movie that you're like, I just didn't really care too much for?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Santa Claus 3.
Oh, that one.
Come on.
I believe it was the escape clause. Isn't that correct?
Maybe. Okay. Escape clause. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but yeah, it was Santa Claus 3, but it was the whole escape clause thing, or is like the actual real name for it, or what they called it.
Yeah, I didn't really see a point for them making it. The first 1 and 2 were really funny, and the third one was just kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't funny at all. I mean, it just wasn't a good movie. Just overall, just didn't really make any sense to me.
You know what? And I'm right there with you on that. So Tim Allen's had a lot of wonderful movies. Mm-hmm. Santa Claus, the original one, the original ones are usually always pretty well. But I do agree with you that the third one it just wasn't there. It definitely wasn't the great. But
yeah.
we do have a few comments, just really quick. That's on the side. So Dave Esparza is saying, "What's up, guys?" And hey, how's it going, Mr. Mess Around Dave? How you doing tonight? Landon Hammonds also wants to know, has anybody seen the new Conjuring yet? And what is your thoughts on the new one? Have you seen that yet, Chris?
I have not, but I am looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I am a horror movie buff that I definitely want to see it. I can't wait to see it. I really hope that it's as good as it's hyped up, because I know that the other Conjurings that were there was also really, really good. And Landon's saying it comes out in June, so I'm definitely ready to see that.
I'm there.
Tim Fielder is also saying Galaxy Quest.
Oh,
Galaxy Quest.
All right.
That's a good one too. You know what, Chris? Too bad I didn't live by you, or I would say let's go check out The Conjuring when it comes out.
No shit, man. Yeah, I keep you on your seat, man. I love those type of movies, man. Just keep you on the edge of your seat, freaking you out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dragon Viper, how about you? I'm Tim Allen. What was the worst Tim Allen movie you've ever seen?
I would have to agree with you guys. It'd be the Santa Claus 3. I mean, 1 and 2 were great. 3 just it was boring. I didn't care for it. So, so that'd be my answer. Santa Claus 3.
So, think about. Sorry, I had something in my throat quick, but think about some of the movies, all the movies he's done. Think about like the one really good series he did that I really enjoyed, Home Improvement. That was, to me, that was like some of the best work he's done. And what is this guy doing up in here? What? Yo, Rob, what's up?
Hey guys, I was just seeing if Chris was on here. Oh, there he is.
Chris
Hey,
is
Chris.
here, but
Yes,
dude, you know
you
this is
found
movie
me.
night. This is movie night, dude. So it looks
What do you
like you're
need?
gonna be. It looks like you're gonna be joining us on movie night.
What'd you say, Chris?
You found me. What do you need?
Nothing. Just miss you.
All right, man. Well, welcome to movie night.
All right,
you,
hang on
Rob.
a second. God damn it. Let me put some gimmick on real quick.
All right, welcome to movie night.
Okay,
Welcome
done.
here.
Ready.
All right, thank you. So we were just talking about Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, my favorite fellow cokehead convict. All right.
And we were talking about what we thought was his best movie. So do you have a really good movie that Tim Allen did and that you would say was your favorite?
I would probably coin toss my favorite.
Yeah.
Probably, God. I really liked Galaxy Quest and I really liked Wild Hogs.
Yes.
Favorite. I'm probably gonna go with Galaxy Quest. You know, him doing the whole real life kind of Will Shatner rib. I liked that. That was fun. Always good for a laugh.
Yes, and Wild Hogs, I'll tell you what, Wild Hogs was one of those movies that was kind of for everybody. You know, I just
was.
that was awesome. And I don't think that they could have got like 4 better dudes to be in that movie.
Well, even
was
the
just-
supporting, I can't remember his name, but I love the guy. He was Dr. Cox in Scrubs. He was in Wild Hogs as the gay cop.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy when he's
Yep.
like, "Oh, we have 2 counts of indecent exposure, 2 counts of drinking in public, and 1 count of jealous."
Right.
Yep.
And 1 count of pure jealousy.
Yeah.
I love that. So we have a comment on the side too. We have a few of them that says someone needs an escape clause. And then we also have another one.
Oh God, escape clause! What a piece of shit that was.
We're just talking about that.
I mean, really, it's like, okay, they made the first one, and my kids loved it, and they had a great time. The second one, they were like, okay, still kind of. But the third one, they didn't even want to watch that piece of crap. They probably only made that so the kid in the movie can get some more work when he was grown up.
And then we have another comment that somebody said Jungle to Jungle. Do you guys remember that when Tim Allen was in that one too?
Not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was like a joke or not, but Jungle to Jungle was when he
No,
finds-
these are a joke. That was serious.
So Jungle to Jungle was when he finds out he has a kid. He goes to try and get a divorce from his ex-wife. He goes to Lipo. Lipo is what they call it, the island. When he shows up, he finds out he's got a kid, and his kid is Native American, so he's got to bring him back to, I think it was New York. right? Was it?
I think it was New York.
Yeah,
It was
I think
New
it was
York.
New York. So he's got to bring him
Yep.
back, and he's got to teach his son how to act right in New York because his kid's not used to it. He's used to the lifestyle of like killing birds and just
So
killing
is
his food.
that in the worst of category? Because that sounds like garbage.
No, that so
just,
out
the,
of,
just the description, I like Santa Claus 3 more now.
so out of all the movies he's done, it's actually kind of interesting because they actually had Jungle the Jungle rated at number 9 out of exactly what he's done.
Oh wow.
And
Is that out of 9? I mean, how many has he done?
no, he's done probably like close to over 50 at least.
Right.
Like he's done a ton of movies in his life.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what, Tim? I know you're sitting there saying that you're surprised that nobody said Toy Story, but the thing is like Toy Story was one of those kids movies that kids seem to really, really love. So it's hard.
Toy
for
Story is best and worst. I mean, some of those just flopped.
Well, yeah, but I think the original one was great. I think that they were on to something
Yeah.
great when they started it.
I agree.
But oh yeah, now somebody's commenting about parts in the movie of Jungle the Jungle still when he's getting chased by a spider. They like that.
What
part
a
when
what
he
a
gets chased by-
horrible scene. Oh God, I thought that sounds good.
Rob loves
Yeah.
spiders.
And then a serial killer murdered his wife, and it was all full of laughs.
Now, when we talk about actually one of his favorite movies, I don't know, are his worst movies, so to say. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but to me, one of his worst ones that I really didn't like was actually The Shaggy Dog. I don't know, it's just something about that movie. I didn't really care for it all that
I
much.
was kind of bored of it.
It was because you've never seen that movie?
Yeah, no, we watch like movies geared for adults.
Yeah, so The Shaggy Dog. Well, excuse me for having kids, okay?
You're excused.
But
We have kids. We haven't seen it.
But The Shaggy Dog was more, it was based off of another movie that I've seen, but for some reason it's escaping me what the name of that original movie was. But it's basically where something happens, he gets a dose of something that he ends up turning into a dog. And yeah,
Didn't
and
they
so
make that in like 4 other different movies?
Yes. That's why I said it was like a spoof of something. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was originally made from something. And then we also have somebody who says For Richer or Poor. I almost said that one too, because that was kind of
Yeah,
Kirstie
it's
Alley's in
Kirstie
that.
Alley, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, she's in as good because she's so hot back then. Oh, baby, put on that Amish dress, turns me on.
so you liked that movie.
I liked her.
You liked her?
Yeah, I don't remember the movie for shit. I just remember she looked good
He did look
in the
good.
Amish dress. Ooh,
The Amish
Hooah!
dress. So it sounds like we're kind of have mixed reactions there on whether we actually liked the movie For Richer or Poor. Let me tell you that. It was a mixed reaction. Chris, did you like it, or did you just like Kirstie Alley in the movie also?
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's hard not to look at Kirstie Alley. So I just remember the premise of the movie that was they were in trouble like with money, and they had to like run away to this Amish or whatever. And yeah, that's all I really remember. And then Kirstie
all I
Alley.
know is I was disappointed they didn't have any gratuitous breastises.
Right.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. So we do have a comment here that it was talking about the Shaggy Dog, and it says it was a remake of the Shaggy Dog. And yes, thank you for clarifying that. It was a remake. I completely forgot that the Shaggy Dog was actually a real movie, and they just remade
Good job,
it,
Tim.
and they put Tim Allen in it. So thank you very much. But let's go ahead and jump into our next topic here, which our next topic is horror movies. So when you think about the horror movies you've seen,
Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, baby. Yeah,
No,
baby.
I'm going the other route on this.
No,
one,
I
though.
thought you were gonna have something bad to say about the movie, Chris. I wanted to ask, why the hell? What when I said to you, in a private message, what possibly made you think it was going to be bad? I didn't say, hey, watch Chris have a baby. I said, you want a good reaction?
Well, it's
Don't tell Don.
Well, it's because when we talk about it, though, I'm thinking, Rob likes to pull little ribs, so I thought it might have been a rib.
He does.
Trying to get Chris going or something, trying to get him going. But anyways, so when we talk about horror movies, you've seen a lot of good ones, but think about some of the bad ones you've seen. And Rob, I'm going to start with you. Is there like a horror movie that you're like, oh man, this thing was just horrible, and I'll never watch it again?
Wow. Okay, well, I know it's a very shallow pool to choose from. Come on, bad horror movies. If you have one good one, you have 50 terrible
Yeah,
ones.
but think about probably the worst one you've seen.
What comes to mind? I would like to say, don't say Mike Myers.
Yeah, you say don't say Mike Myers again.
I know, right? Woo! I paid for
Whatever
that
you
one.
do, I would go say Mike Myers.
Jesus. I remember Return of the Living Dead 2 being a stinker, horrible. Tried to make like a real zombie movie, but make it a comedy. And even if they had funny writers, that piece of shit was still just garbage. Yeah. But then I also think, I remember watching See No Evil with Kane. And I remember thinking, man, I've seen more entertaining turds float in the toilets of locker rooms than this movie. This is just, yeah, God.
Did they make
Did
a
you end
second
up-
one?
Yeah, I was just
I
saying,
heard-
did you watch
yeah.
the second one?
No, I shouldn't have watched the first one. That's an hour and a half I'll never get back. It's terrible. That movie haunted my dreams because of what it actually stole from me, some of my own life. But I would say, the Return of the Living Dead 2, that was pretty goddamn bad.
And then when you think about it, though, too, going back to the See No Evil, like you're thinking, when you think about it, they actually took his character in that movie and they tried to kind of have him do it a little bit actually in wrestling and in WWE too when they did it, because in the movie when he tried to go after everybody's eyes in the movie, well, they started doing that in WWE, going, you know what, this was your character and See No Evil, so let's try and portray this in WWE too. So now we want you to go after everybody's eyes. So it was kind of interesting when they did that. I'm like,
This
wow.
was your stinker idea in the movie. So, hey, let's carry that pile of garbage over to the ring and try and massacre your character.
right, yeah.
That's a 2 thumbs up for that.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up,
No.
in a circle. No, that was further proof that Vince McMahon was stepping farther and farther away from story writing. Was that movie? Ugh.
So, Chris, how about you? Is there like a horrible horror movie that you're like, wow, this is definitely the worst thing I've ever seen in my life?
Yeah, Blair Witch Project.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was horrible.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. So you ever watch? Okay, well, first of all, we bought tickets, went to a movie theater, sat there, got all ready for it. It's gonna be a great movie, and we're watching this piece of shit, and we're like, you ever watch a movie? You're like, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better, and it just never got better at all. It never did. None of it. I mean, it was like this reality slash. We're in the woods running around, and it just didn't make any sense. I wasn't even scared, to be honest. It wasn't even scary. It was freaking terrible. And then they made a part 2, which I didn't see, but terrible
Part
movie.
2 was way worse than the first one.
Did you watch it?
storyline-wise. Yeah, part of it. But I'll tell you, here's my Blair Witch story for you. And yeah, Doug, I'll heed your advice to watch my mouth if I want to keep this job. I went to see that movie with the guitarist from my band and my ex-wife. And we thought, hey, let's just get a little bit of buzz going on before we go into the movie. So we were in there sipping back some whiskey and whatnot. Well, she was in the back seat power hitting that whiskey. So we get into the movie and all the shaky camera and all. Yeah, she threw up all over me, all over the lady sitting next to me and my guitarist. And I was like, oh, shit. And she goes, did she just puke? I said, did she just puke? Are you out of your mind? It's on you. I had to scoop her up and carry her out of the theater. She's hanging and throwing up on the way out. So I should have said Blair Witch based on that experience.
So, yeah, and when you talk about Blair Witch, okay, so when it first came out, I was really young. I don't remember exactly what age I was, but I really wanted to watch it. And my mom, hearing all this stuff about it, was like, "Oh, I've heard a lot of how scary it is." And so I was like young, and she's like, "Well, I really don't think you should watch this." So they had rented it, and she's like, "You should probably go in the other room, so you can't watch it." And
That's
then she
just
gets
mean.
well, and then she watches it, and then after the movie's done, I come out and she's like, "Son, I am sorry. I guess I should have let you just watch this pile of crap because the movie was so bad that it wouldn't have mattered if you watched it or not."
Here, all of us right now, let's make Blair Witch 3, starting right now. Oh my God, I'm so scared.
I'm gonna turn around and look at the wall now too. Okay, at the end. We're
No,
looking at the
Chris.
wall.
Chris, you're looking at the wall. No, I better go investigate.
Yeah,
Get
because
the hell out of here.
and the second one was just as dumb as the first one.
It was.
Oh, the second one was so much worse. So much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, the witch followed us and possessing all of our minds, and we're all killing each other. And look what the last people did. Oh, but wait, that was really us. Tired of them treating us like we're stupid in Hollywood. Kiss my entire ass with that pile of nonsense.
So there was actually this horror movie that I watched, and I guess I should have went off exactly what the title said, but sometimes the titles are kind of misleading. But this title actually said "Worst Horror Movie You've Ever Seen," and so I'm like, you know what? I was like, you know what? It's probably just a ruse, it's probably just misleading. So I was like, I'm gonna try it. My God, this thing was a big pile of crap, like the biggest pile of crap I've ever seen. Honestly, when you're watching this, you're like, this is dumb. But it was like one of those movies that was so dumb that you're like, I can't stop watching because it's just that dumb that you're like, I want to see how this stupid piece of crap ends.
But the thing is, there are movies like that are just brilliant and you remember forever. Roxy Red will back me. Eyesight. The Sorority Babes at the Slime Ball Bolorama. Oh, it was majestic. It was so bad. Shock 'em Dead. Holy Christ, what a piece of garbage. It was so good.
So in this movie though, like you're looking at how these random people are dying. And I'll tell you, if you ever see this movie, run. Like don't even rent it, because it is like that. If you want to be so bored and like laugh at a movie the whole time, be like, wow, this is really the dumbest thing you've ever watched, then sure, go for it. But when you're watching this movie, somebody in this movie dies by somebody went poop, and then they look in the toilet, and all of a sudden this giant poop comes up and attacks them, and the person dies from getting attacked by poop.
It's like To See No Evil.
Same director?
And so the person dies by getting attacked by poop. Then somebody else dies by they're playing poker, and somebody gets mad, and they pick up their playing cards, and they start throwing them across the table, and these cards start sticking in the person's head and in their chest and their arms, and then the person dies. And another one dies by somebody runs down a hallway and they trip on a banana peel, and they fall and die by tripping on a banana peel. And as I'm watching this, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I'll bet you we could take a video camera, $150, and make a better movie than that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll call it Vampire Pro Wrestlers.
There
Yeah.
you go.
So we have Tim that's saying Rubber was awful.
That's not what he said.
Yeah. And then,
Good for you, Tim. Just so everybody knows, me and Tim, man, we kissed and made up. We're a team now. Go team. Yeah.
and then Mess Around is saying that it was really bad. He's seen it. And then so Tim is saying it was about a processed car tire that blows up heads. possessed, but he said processed, but I think he meant to say possessed.
Well, I
So-
think he also meant to say awful.
Right? Yeah, I think that's what he meant to say too. Oh, yeah. So there was actually another comment here that says one of the worst movies. So my mom, and I think she did this as a torture. She's like, "Hey, why don't you go on there and watch this horror movie that's called Teeth?" And I don't know if you guys have seen that movie or not.
Yeah, that was with the teeth up in the blah blah, right?
Yeah.
Their thing
Yeah.
in it. Bam! Bad ride.
Yeah, so it's basically about this girl's private that has teeth, and so every time you go to have sex with her, the teeth attacks. Like it's crazy.
Jesus.
Wow.
Who thinks of this shit?
Right?
A woman, that's who.
Probably.
You know what'll
Right.
teach those men biting their freaking willies off. That'll teach them.
Right? I have no idea. But Dragon Viper, I haven't forgotten about you. So is there like a worse horror movie that you've seen?
Oh man, I mean, there's several. I did list a couple though. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Terrible.
mean, a couple more would be The Ring and The Human Centipede. So those
Okay,
all three were just
Hold on.
downright
The
terrible.
Human Centipede, Dragon Viper. I will say this, okay? The Human Centipede, it was more entertaining than anything. It was just interesting how they came up with that idea, to be perfectly honest.
But have you seen the second one?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
That's a
Yes,
goddamn snuff film. It was horrible.
Yes, because he made the second centipede longer. He wanted to break the record, and so he made the second one longer. And
Jerking off with sandpaper.
yeah, just
Oh,
it was just
Ugh.
interesting.
Oh gosh.
yeah. Have you seen it there, Cass?
I've seen the first one. Yeah. I
Don't watch the
care.
second one. Take it from
Yeah.
your boy. Don't watch the second one.
If you watch the
Terrible.
second one, it's a complete waste of your time. To
Yeah.
be perfectly honest.
It's upsetting. It leaves you feeling a certain way when it's over for a couple days.
And I'm usually like that too. If I don't like the first one, I'm generally not going to see the second one. I'm just not going to go through that torture again.
So you didn't like the first one?
No, I didn't. Those type of movies, I don't know. They just don't do it for me. I don't know. I can't. Those type of weird, freaky movies like that, I don't know. Just doesn't do it for me.
So are you more of like you want to watch a horror movie that has to have like a lot of blood, guts, and gore?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It had some type of plot, of course. I mean, you got to have some plot for sure. But yeah, those type of where they're Centipede just didn't do it for me.
Centipede, right? No, I feel it was definitely strange. The Ring, Dragon Viper, you're saying that you're like, stinkeroo.
Yeah,
You know,
didn't like it. It was dumb.
I used to terrorize my sister, though. I'd creep up behind her in the dark and go, "That's not funny." No, it really,
Was that The Grudge though? Was it The Grudge?
Yes,
oh, was that The Grudge?
The Grudge. The Grudge was the Grudge was stupid too.
I get you, Chris.
Ooh,
The
that
Grudge was
great.
awesome.
The
First
goddamn
one was pretty
boys.
good.
So we actually have a question that says, "Did you guys like Saw?"
Maybe
Sure,
the
man.
first or second one, but then it became,
32.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not dead yet. I have more games. Oh, are you scared? No. No.
It
You
became
stopped being
redundant.
scary 20 movies ago.
There you go. Perfect. I agree with Dragon Viper. The first couple were good. After that, it just too redundant and just kind of like, come on, seriously, like, what are you doing?
But that's how they do it, though. When you think about those types of movies, and they want to make a series of movies, that's how it always is. It's always the first one's always good, and then they do a second one, then they do a third one, and then they're like, oh, let's try a fourth one, let's try a fifth one, and they keep it going. You're like, oh, how many more times and how many different ways can this person die? Because at some point they have to die.
Making that money, though. Keep making it till the wheels fall off.
Well, right, because you know that everyone's going to be like, well, I watched the other one, so now I have to go watch this one just to see if it's as good as the other ones or worse.
Now
And so-
you have to nick a vein on your foot to get the marble that you will put down the chute to get the key.
Wow, that sounded pretty good, dude.
You like that?
Yeah.
That was actually really, really good.
Well, you know I do voices.
Well, oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I know you do voices.
Who, me?
Yeah, you said all the time you do voices.
Yeah, never.
Nah, never.
No, I don't do any voices. I don't do my favorite one, Jesse the Body Ventura. Don't laugh at me. I was a governor, damn it. I'm not afraid of Jason Voorhees. I will paint him with thermite paint, and I will get Hogan. I'll get Hogan, and I'll get the Macho Man. And we'll take the thermite paint, and I lost track of where I'm going with this.
Just
But
don't
I'm
fall
just-
asleep.
But I'm the mind, not the body anymore.
And be very careful about how you want to say you're going to the way you want to kill Jason Voorhees or Mike Myers or something. Be very,
They're
very
gonna
careful.
they will kick Rob Wilds off of
Yeah.
Facebook, but not me because I'm the mind.
But they will kick Rob off of Facebook.
And by the
But-
way, ASAP, go to hell. You guys suck ass anyway. I'm glad we're not there anymore.
So you do have a comment, Rob, that they're saying they like your glasses.
Oh, thanks. They're multifaceted.
I want a
So
pair.
I can do this where I'm feeling nice and mellow, and then I can kick it up to the next. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And then it goes into seizure mode. Oh, yeah.
I
Do
like
this for too long
like
and I'm
that.
screwed.
That's really cool. I really do like that. I love that. That's
I don't want to
freaking
do
awesome.
seizure mode because I might fall on Hogan.
I'm pissed, man. I want a pair.
Yeah,
That's right.
so
Suck it up, Buttercup. Come get him.
now we talked about we just talked about like the worst horror movies we've ever seen. But when you think about some of the best ones you've ever seen, what really sticks out in your mind? What's one horror movie that you're like, man, I could watch that any day, anytime because it's just that great? Dragon Viper, is there one that really sticks out in your mind?
Yeah. Actually, a couple, both the Nightmare on Elm Street movies as well as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the older ones.
Old Leatherface. Like
Yep.
it.
Hey, do we got time for a quick plug?
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Since we brought Leatherface up, let's not forget, join of the network starting next week is going to be the Sanitarium with Leatherface.
I like it. So
That's my plug.
So, Rob, when you think about horror movies, is there one horror movie that really sticks out to you? Like, man, I really love this thing.
No, I'm a huge horror movie fan. Picking a worst one is a lot easier than a best. I love all the Freddy flicks except for that garbage remake that they did. And, you can only do so much when the story's been told so many times. So I don't really blame the actor. But, no, I don't like the new Freddy flick. And I did love Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, but I feel like they could have done more with that.
Of course they could have done more. They
Yes.
planned to make a sequel, but it never happened.
Yeah. Yep.
You can't pop your whole load if you want to try to keep a franchise going.
Yeah. I was just disappointed that we haven't seen a second one yet.
Well, it's because it fell to the wayside. It's New Line and Paramount weren't coming back into terms on making another one.
Okay, so that would make sense then. All right, so mess around saying that he liked the movie Maximum Overdrive. He said it wasn't scary, but he liked it.
That was one of my first horror movies, actually.
That's a good one. Was that the one of the vehicles?
Yeah,
Or-
it'll come to life and shit. The
Yeah.
soda cans be popping, be whizzing
Yeah,
dingers
yeah.
at shit 90.
Hell yeah.
The premise of that is just so stupid. It's entertaining that, oh my God, I saw it. She was murdered by a 7-Up machine. It fired 7-Up cans at her at 106. How did they even do that? I thought it was just on gravity.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
That's
it.
awesome.
I'll be perfectly honest and say I've never seen that movie. I need to watch it because it sounds like it could just be one of those entertaining movies that you're like, okay, it may not be the best one, but it's
Right.
there.
Don't go into it with any expectations and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
And so a few of the other comments we have is Final Destination. Somebody liked that and said that was a good movie.
First one was cool.
I like the second one.
And,
You
yeah,
would.
and then the series starts going back up again. And then we also have comment that says they love the movie Christine.
Christine was epic.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I loved it.
Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
me
Yeah.
too.
Stephen King.
Christine, man, that was Roxy Red, I believe you know this person, Rob,
A little bit.
said that their first horror movie was John Carpenter's The Thing. And it was one of their all-time favorites. So Chris, it looks like you were kind of excited about that. So was that like a good excited? Like you're like, hey, that's a great movie.
Now,
Yeah,
Chris,
yeah.
keep in mind he wants you to be angry. That's what he likes.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that was a great movie. But yeah, a lot of those Stephen King movies, I could watch those all day. I mean, I just can. I mean, Friday 13th. I mean, I'm like Rob. I like a lot of scary movies, and so whenever they're on, I'm going to watch them. But especially Stephen King.
Quick
Oh,
little
absolutely.
fun story for Chris and Roxy. Speaking of The Thing, my dad, he's gone now, but when the Thing first came out, like way back in the way too long ago to remember, my dad as a kid was watching it with his buddy, and it was in Pittsburgh in the middle of winter, and there's a snowstorm outside. The kid is terrified to walk home. Dad says, "I'm not afraid. I'll walk you home." Got the kid home and realized he had to walk back himself. Ran to the local, 5 and dime gas station and called the spokes. Please come get me. I can't walk home.
That's awesome.
The Thing has been terrifying people for decades.
Yeah.
So Chris, now it's your turn. Think about a horror movie that you really, really like.
Well, I'm going to say for all the Friday 13th, I'm going to stick with those. I like all of them. I can watch any of them. But I like The Graveyard Shift, Stephen King. That's a classic.
Yes.
That's
Good
one of my
one.
favorite ones. Is The Graveyard Shift. I can watch that movie 100 times and not get tired of it.
Any vampire flick is great.
Yeah, it's a creepy, crazy movie. I love it. Plus, it's by Stephen King. Who doesn't like Stephen King?
Obviously, we know who
amazing.
does.
Yeah.
Very creative.
Yes.
So-
very creative.
So speaking of Stephen King, okay, and talking about horror movies, did you guys like the original It better or the remake?
Remake. I like
Remake.
Oh, you
Mhm.
like the remake better? Okay.
I'm a huge Tim Curry fan, but this guy who was Pennywise this time around was way better.
Well,
Yeah.
they definitely did the makeup. This time made him look a lot more scarier.
Yeah, with
This
a
time.
bigger forehead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Dragon Viper. How about you? The first one or second one?
I kind of like the remake more. I felt the Stephen King one was kind of a little more cheesy, and not as scary. But yeah, you're right. With the remake, he made Pennywise a little more like scary looking. So
Yeah, so the reason I brought that one up too was because that was actually one of the first horror movies that I watched, and I was like pretty young when I watched it. So my brother used to tease me about it all the time, and yeah, and I would go in to like take a bath and stuff, and my brother would always be like, "Don't forget it. He comes up the drain. He's coming up the drain."
We
And I
all
would-
float down
I
here,
could
George.
see him doing that too.
And I would just get so angry, and I would be like, "Shut up! Shut up! He's not coming up the drain. Shut up!" And
So was your brother then? He was interrupting podcasts and then torturing you all at the same time? Or how that went?
That's correct. That's correct.
I could see him doing that though
Yeah, he was
too.
doing it
So.
all at the same
That's
time.
awesome.
But that was actually one of the first ones. That was one of the first horror movies that I watched was it. And then the other one was actually Chucky.
Ooh,
Child's
yeah.
Play. Yeah. So I watched. That was one of the first ones I watched too. And we actually used to torture my sister a little bit with that because we had a Chucky doll. and we watched it, and then we'd take the Chucky doll and go around in the back of the house and knock on the window and hold up the doll. and she would get angry and just knock it off. That's not funny. House of Wax, we have a comment. House of Wax.
All right.
They did a few of those. If you think about it, they did the original one, and then I
Did
think
any
they
of
did
them
a
go to the
remake.
theater? They
House
were
of
all
Wax?
straight. They were all straight to video, weren't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, they're okay.
House of Wax, right. So, Rob, I know you were not on here last week, and I know we answered this question, so now I'm curious. Okay, we talked about who was better to you. Was it Jason Voorhees, Mike Myers,
Always Freddy.
Krueger? Always Freddy. Okay,
Always
so Freddy
Freddy.
was your favorite.
Freddy could whoop all those clowns' asses wholesale. Because here's one thing that all three of those dudes couldn't do. They couldn't disappear. If Freddy could, he'd just go poof up onto a roof. Let's watch you idiots kill each other. I'm going to sit right here with some popcorn on top of my fingers, and I'll come down and kill who's left. And by the way, I still go on record as saying I would cut Michael Myers' goddamn head off and see if that was his weakness. Screw you all, sport pussies.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
That's right,
3,
son.
4, better lock your door. That's right.
Nightmare 1, I don't know if it was Nightmare 1 or Salem's Lot, but one of those were my first horror that I can remember.
Oh, wow.
Salem's Lot, I do remember, was the first movie that actually scared the balls off of me.
So,
My little 8-year-old balls, they were gone.
So speaking of that, Rob, I know you're starting to get a little bit older, but so tell me, and I know you've seen a lot of horror movies,
I'm about to make one on your ass, son.
But can you think about the first one you've seen? What was the first horror movie you watched?
I feel like I just answered that.
The Thing, right? No, was it?
No, I think it was either Nightmare 1 or
Uh-huh.
Salem's Lot.
Oh wow, okay. It was one
Try
of
to
those
keep
two.
up, Ace. Try to keep up.
Hey, I'm trying here. Chris, how about you? What's the first one?
Oh man, so my father took me to go see Jaws 3 in 3D.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, as a 6-year-old kid, and
As a
Yeah, that-
6-year-old? Yeah.
my real father wasn't exactly a prize, but anyways,
That
Yeah,
guy
we went
was
to-
a bastard-coated bastard with bastard filling.
yeah, Jaws 3 in 3D. So you imagine shark come at you and all that when you're 6 years old. Yeah, it makes you kind of creep you out in the water for a couple of years after that. So I didn't learn how to swim until I was 8, but
You were afraid of water.
I was afraid of water. Yeah, for a couple of years, absolutely. Even the bathtub too, man. I thought freaking Jaws was gonna come get me, but
That's
so
funny.
yeah, that creeped me out for sure.
So we have another comment that says Jeepers Creepers.
That was a good one. They were all good ones. The remakes, too. They were all good. Or not
Well-
the remakes, the sequels.
Yeah, so the third one to me was a little interesting because of the third one was basically just about his truck, if you remember. That kind of showed inside his truck and kind of showed how everything inside his truck worked with the spikes and just all that weird stuff. So Ashley Gleason is saying that Chris, she kind of agrees with you. She said, I still don't like water because of Jaws. So she's right there with you. Just because she watched Jaws, she doesn't even like it.
Yeah, it's creepy. I mean, I finally got over it, but yeah, it makes you wonder sometimes.
Hey, real quick, Ashley Gleason, send me a private message if you have any interest in coming on Smells Like Hope. That's it.
All right. And
She's a clinologist. She works in the business of rehab, so
okay.
that's helpful for me.
And then we have somebody that actually agreed with the Blair Witch Project, saying that they didn't like that one too, that one was really stupid. And then Roxy Red is saying the third Jeepers Creepers took place between 1 and 2, which is which is weird, I guess. So
Yeah.
Right, that was what the deal was. The monster, I think, hadn't come back yet, right? So it was his truck doing things like
Yeah.
maximum overdrive, kind of.
So that one's really, really weird. I actually didn't catch that, but I guess I should have researched that one. But
You cannot question old Roxy when it comes to horror movies. That guy is like, he should have a degree.
well, I'm glad he's throwing that out there and kind of giving us that information
job, Roxy.
thing, took place. Yeah. So thank you for that. That's awesome. That's really helpful. Dragon Viper, this one came to you. You were the final one to answer this question. What's the first horror movie that you watched?
First horror movie was Child's Play. I was like, I believe 8 years old. I was down at my grandparents' house. And the creepy thing about it is right after watching it, I would end up in my grandmother's bedroom. She had a spare bedroom. And I would end up, sleeping in that room. And all around the room were dolls. So right after watching that movie for probably a good few months, of
Son of a bitch.
I'd lay there and I could not sleep because I would think that one of those dolls would come after me.
Gosh.
So yeah, but yeah, Child's Play was the first horror movie that I actually saw that young. So,
which makes me think now. Okay, we're gonna write a movie. Okay, we're gonna write a movie. We're gonna knock this thing out of the park.
Vampire Wrestlers.
Hey, no. We're gonna go off of. Hey, I still want to write the movie that I talked about last week. I still think that's a brilliant idea, and I want to do that.
Dude, that movie would cost $892 trillion billion freaking dollars, and absolutely no horror movie would be allowed to win. No lawyer would let their franchise lose this fight. That movie you described last week, dude, that's the holy grail. You're the first one who thought of it? Nah. Me and Roxy Red, back when we were teenagers, were writing the Jason movie. That's how far back fan fiction goes.
I even had that thought back in the day. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Ashley Gleason is saying that anything with creepy dolls is a no-go for her.
I'm telling you, the Vampire Wrestlers, we'll even do it one better. We'll call it the Vampire Wrestlers from Quebec. Yeah, we're here to wrestle and suck blood, eh? Hey, what are you laughing at there, eh? Don't piss me off, guy. I'm gonna get a Molson and kick your ass. Yeah, from Quebec. That's what makes it the kicker right there. I'm a genius. You can say it.
From
So-
Yeah.
Since you weren't on here last week either, Rob, can you tell us who is, if you have one, who is your favorite actor?
Oh no, I can't pick. I would be hard pressed to even put together a Mount Rushmore of favorite actors. Like you'd have Walken, you'd have De Niro, you'd have Pacino. Hell, I'm even a huge fan of Bill Burr's comedy. His acting has really taken a positive run. I mean, yeah, I couldn't possibly pick a favorite actor. George Clooney, of course. Dusk Till Dawn. All right, hard drinkers, let's drink hard. I'm buying. Chris, are you a faithless preacher or are you a mean mother flipping servant of God?
Tired taunts.
I'm not taunting you, Christopher. No, I couldn't pick a favorite.
So Brandon's giving you a shout out there, Rob. He's saying, "What's up, Rob Wilds?"
Brother man, what's up?
Looks like it's going good. Do you have a favorite actress there, Rob Wilds?
No.
No,
I
you don't
sure
even have a favorite actress.
I
Okay.
Kirstie Alley.
Yeah. I mean, like the favorite actress in the 80s that I was a kid and still somehow wanted to bone. Kirstie Alley's up there. Kathy Ireland. Oh, yeah. Tawny Katane died today, by the way. I feel like that deserves a shout out. That sucks.
Did
And
she really?
if anybody says who's that, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Who's that?
Oh, you son of a blue! Where's the rant alert? I'm about to lose it.
Wow, seriously, Tawny Katane died?
He died today. Yeah, at 59.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe they showed that this morning. I do believe. I think came across my feed this morning. I think
It's awful. It's awful. Terrible.
it's always a sad day when people like that die. It's
Yeah,
Even
when
though-
chicks who are slut crawling across a Ferrari die, it makes you feel bad.
so. Brandon is leaving a comment for you, Rob, and saying you wanted Betty White.
I want Betty White right now. Oh, mama. Come say filthy things to me that no grandmother should ever say, baby.
Now
Right
let
back
me
to
speaking of
Woo,
Betty
write
White,
me a
though,
$12 check, baby.
that will actually be a really sad day
Plastic covered couch.
when Betty White dies. That'll be a sad day.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Legend.
yeah.
Absolute legend. Like that's that, and it's interesting though too because when they had an interview with her and they're like, well, what's your secret? You know, how have you lived this long? And she's like, there really is no secret. I eat hot dogs every day and drink wine. Like,
Dirty living.
that was her secret. She's like, I hot dogs and wine. I don't know what else. That's it.
Well,
But-
all right. Go,
Yeah,
Betty.
that's-
Get hammered. Eat some hot dogs.
Get hammered.
I got a
It's
hot
on the
dog
Rob's
for her.
I like it. So
Oh, Lord.
Rob, you like horror movies, and last week we even talked about this too. Is that your favorite genre
Yeah.
of movies?
Certainly, yeah.
Okay, is there any of them any genres that you're like, oh man, they drive me nuts. I don't even want to see them.
I'm gonna say chick flicks, but like not all
Don't
chick
lie.
flicks. Like I'm not. Shut up. I'm not that guy who can't sit there next to a girl and enjoy a chick flick. But when it's one of those just blatantly insulting, over the top, all men are garbage and all women are so strong, I can't stand those. But like The Notebook, for instance. I didn't hate The Notebook.
He loves the Notebook.
I said I didn't hate it, you dick.
Oh,
He said he didn't hate it. He said I did not hate it.
Okay.
Chris is trying to bust me out because he has to sit there with a box of Kleenex and I don't. Oh my God, he loved her all the way till the end.
I can't watch this anymore.
Oh, you're watching it.
So we have a couple comments here. We have Ashley Gleason that's saying it's the wine that's keeping her alive.
That's
And
what I
then-
say about Jerry Garcia. He died decades before he actually died, and it was the heroin that kept him alive.
And then we also have somebody that said they would not mess with Betty White. No, even at an old age, right now it seems like she's almost immortal.
She'll feed you to that damn crocodile.
Yeah.
I hope he kills all you mother effers. Yeah, tell him, Betty.
She was great in that.
She was great in everything. She was great in Golden Girls. Everybody else in the Golden Girls kind of sucked, but she was awesome.
Why do you think they're all dead but her?
Are they all dead now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Betty White's the only one
Yep.
that is left.
So that all they could ever make in the future is the Golden Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't have
Wow.
a reunion or nothing.
I didn't know B. Arthur would get you kicked.
Oh yeah.
And she said that because you were talking about chick flicks, Jody said that she just watched Good Luck Chuck.
Yeah, that's not a chick flick.
No,
That's a great
no, it
flick, is
isn't.
what that is. That's a
Good Luck Chuck.
Good luck, Chuck.
It looks like you look confused there, Chris. You're like,
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't
That's
seen
just
it. so-
that's just his face. Don't make fun of him.
Yeah, I haven't seen Good Luck, Chuck, so I don't know.
He said,
I have no comment.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just my face.
yeah. So Brandon's saying that.
Deep breaths, man.
So Brandon's saying that Betty White was the oldest of all four of the Golden Girls, which she
Really?
was. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Jody's also saying that the Good Luck Chuck is good for guys because there's lots of boobs in that movie. So she's saying it's definitely good for guys. So sounds like
Yeah, I've seen it once.
so Rob, it sounds like you're definitely not into chick flicks. I said I wasn't into musicals and stuff several reasons I said last week. I think that one's absurd, ridiculous when it comes to musicals. But
Except for Grease.
yes,
Yeah,
except for Grease. Except for Grease, I did say
Well, now,
Grease.
there's really nothing wrong with the musical. Again, if it's done well, I can dig me a musical. I'm a musician. I dig it.
Yeah, but just the way that they do the musicals to me is like, really? I just don't like the way that they go about with the musicals. It's like, somebody makes up a song and then like in 3 minutes everybody knows that song. And you're like, that's just
what
crazy.
I made a joke about Roxy Red with what I was like, man, what's with these Disney movies? Somebody starts singing a song, and then all of a sudden all the people know the words, and then next all the cats and dogs know the words, then the rocks and flowers know the words. What the hell's going on here? Teapots
Exactly.
are coming to life, knowing the words.
Exactly, and that was my problem with musicals. That's why I said I wasn't a huge fan of the musicals. But since we're getting close on time right there, Chris, I'll go ahead and start with you and say, is there any final thoughts? Anything else you want to touch on?
I hate Rob.
I hate Rob. That's
it.
it.
That's it. I'm going with that.
Oh,
Well,
hold on. I just thought of a topic here because you
Oh.
were on the show last week, so you got to answer this question. Rob did not. And so since Rob was a fellow wrestler himself years ago also, what was your favorite wrestling movie?
oh God, Body Slam.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Body Slam.
They look confused.
Body Slam. Okay.
Yeah, with Roddy Piper and Tonga Kid. And
Yes,
Space
I remember that.
Team and-
I remember
Okay.
that one. Yes, I do remember that movie.
Second, I'll get with you on Ready to Rumble. I hated the wrestler. It hit too close to home, too real.
I'm ready to rumble.
Yeah, wasn't it you who was saying you loved Ready to Rumble?
Yeah, that was me.
All right.
And I was trying to
getting with
get
you.
Chris to change his mind. I was trying to get him to change his mind and tell him, hey, you got to get back up there a little bit. You got to watch it again.
Did
Better
you
watch
mind
it again.
change, Chris?
It was
What's
just
that?
brainless.
No, I'm
It
actually
was-
gonna watch it tomorrow. So that's
Thank you.
tomorrow. Yes. So you will have an answer next week on it. So I'll shoot you. a
Yes.
message. I'm at 6.5 right now, right? Is that where I'm at?
Yeah, you
6.5?
said you're at 6.5 out of 10. So you got to
Okay.
watch it again and let's see you raise it a little bit more.
Give me
But
a
I
good to an
think
8,
I think
hopefully.
6.5 is pretty generous. I mean, it wasn't a great movie, but it comes in behind Body Slam on a list of favorites. But I think 6.5 is a pretty fair number, even though you're a jerk. I'm with you on it.
I'm a
And,
jerk.
and mess around saying that he's glad you did not say no holds barred.
Terrible movie. Oh, I couldn't stand it. And they brought Zeus in, and I was like, oh no, wrestling is going to suck for the next year, and it did.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. And we did touch on The Wrestler, but what'd you think of that one?
Too close to home. Didn't like it. Too real.
So you don't like when they're. Do you like the biographies? Because a lot of times I catch myself watching.
I hate the dark side of the ring and all that garbage. I hate anything that is going to take dudes who give them their whole life into raising your kids and not raising their own, and you're going to try to slaughter them for it. I hate that.
All right. Hey, that's okay.
Those
One
dark
man's
side
opinion.
of the rings definitely got a beatdown coming on the other side.
All right. That's perfectly okay.
It'll
So,
be crazy ass Chris Benoit.
Dragon Viper, coming into you. Is there anything else that you want to touch on? Any final remaining thoughts?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for showing up here tonight. I enjoy doing this every week. So, and thank you for everybody for watching. That's all I got.
And Rob, last but not least, how about yourself there?
Well, I was going to say how awesome it was, being on another podcast with my best friend, but he can go to hell.
I do had it coming.
You know what, though? I tell you what, the first 2 weeks that we've done this, I've really enjoyed movie night. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to have Chris on both shows. Rob, thank you for joining us tonight. It was.
Maybe he's got a little crush on you, Chris.
Who doesn't, man? I mean, come on.
It's been,
I Real quick though, we got coming up this Tuesday on Wrestle Shoot the Make Right for Marty Jannetty. He's going to be rolling up here with us, and the following week we actually have Rick Reckon coming on Wrestle Shoot, and he's apparently just signed a new contract with AEW.
Oh,
So-
nice. Okay.
That will be very cool, and he's a pretty successful independent wrestler too. So he's going to be a pretty full interview, and then we have Preston Steele, we have Tom Ladgree. We got all kinds of guys scheduled to come up here over the next few weeks. It's going to be good stuff.
All right, I like it. And then coming up right after this, actually in about an hour, we're going to have another episode of Sports Minutes, so stay tuned for that. And then tomorrow, we actually have yes, that's right, Dragon Viper, you're ready for it because you were not on last time he was on our show. But tomorrow night, we actually have a very special guest coming on Between the Ropes tomorrow night. We're going to actually have none other than, that's right, the mercenary Garrison Creed is going to be live on Between the Ropes tomorrow. So everybody stay tuned for that.
And then
it's going to be a great show, absolutely. So I hope everybody enjoyed another episode of Movie Night, and we will get to see you again next week for another episode of Movie Night. Take care.
Hey, Chris.